Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Nicole and I love colorful makeup and I love indie makeup. So today I'm trying out the Nomad Beachy and Peachy palette, and this is everything I love. It is colorful and it is a palette done by an indie brand that I absolutely love. Nomad Cosmetics has one of my favorite eyeshadow formulations. They're just so easy to work with. I really love them. It's just such a gorgeous color story. It's so me. I really love the blues and I love the greens and the teals, and it's just so gorgeous. And I even love the colors that I put on today. I've used the reds and the peaches in the palette today, and I think especially with my hair color that I'm having right now, it's just such a nice contrast. I really enjoyed creating 2 looks for this video, and I definitely will create more for Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts. I'm so excited to use this palette even more because it's just so much fun. And what I love the most about this palette are the yellows. The yellows are so good in this palette. I feel like the shade that Nomad does the best is yellow, because their yellows are just so pigmented. But without any further ado, let's just jump into the first look I've created with this stunning palette. For my first look with the Nomad Beachy and Peachy palette, I really want to take inspiration by my hair color, and I will do a blue, green and yellow look. So I will be starting with this blue right here in my outer corner. I'm so excited to use this blue. I love blue. It's just my favorite color, and I really want to see how pigmented and how intense this is going to be. So as I said, I'm just focusing this in my outer corner, and this is a very beautiful summery blue shade. I'm a little sad that the only very deep shade in this palette is this purple. So every look you're doing that is a little bit more deeper, a little bit more dramatic, is going to be purple. And I just wish there was a deep blue shade, but that's just a personal preference. So next I'm taking this blue on a pencil brush and I just apply it on my lower lash line, and I'm focusing it more in the outer part. Next I'm taking this very beautiful lighter blue shade to blend this out even more. Just taking it on a very tiny blending brush, and I just, with very little pressure, I'm grabbing my brush at the very end, and with small circular motions I'm just blending out at the edge of the blue. With a clean fluffy brush I just go around the edges of this lighter blue to just make it blend perfectly into my skin. Very happy with the blend. I'm going to use the light green shade right here next. I'm taking this on a quite flat brush so I can really press it into the primer to get it as pigmented as possible. And I just pop this in the middle of my lid. Taking a little bit more of the green shade on a blending brush and just blend the edge ever so slightly. A pastel shade like this doesn't need a lot of blending. Shades like this also lose a lot of pigment if you blend them too much. That's also the reason why I like to put a little bit more of the shadow onto my blending brush, so that I add pigment while I'm blending it. For the next shade I'm going to use this turquoisey shade right here, and I'm taking a very small amount of it on that blending brush, and I just use it to blend the green and the blue together. The blend on the eyelid doesn't need to be super perfect because I'm using shimmer shades later. I need the green to be a little bit more intense on the eyelid, so I just add a little bit more. I'm going to use the little bit deeper matte yellow shade we have right here. And I'm taking it on a pencil brush and I pop it into the front of my crease and of my eyelid. I just love this color combination. I feel like blue and green and yellow, it just goes so well together. It's just such a fun color combination. To blend the green and yellow together, I want to mix these two mattes. So I get this very nice lime green shade. Because these two shades are so light, you do not need a lot of blending between those two. I wiped off this blending brush and I just go in with some of the yellow and blend its edges. So and now for my final matte shade, I'm using the pastel yellow on a pencil brush and I just pop this into the inner corner. This might be my favorite shadow in the entire palette. I think after using some Nomad palettes with yellows in them and after using a lot of different yellows from different brands, I have to say, and I very comfortably can say that Nomad is doing the best yellows in the game. They're very pigmented. As you can see, for a yellow, these are fantastically pigmented. You do not need a lot of build-up. If you blend them, the pigment stays while you blend. Like a lot of yellows, if you start blending them, they're just blending away. Just picked up a little bit more of the deep blue on the pencil brush, which I used for the lower lash line before. And I'm just building this up in the outer corner even more. I think I will fix the blending just a little bit more and then I'm quite happy, and then we will continue with the shimmer shades. Now it's time for the shimmers and I will start with the green shimmer. This is a very interesting green shimmer to me because it seems to have some silver in it, and I just apply it in the area where I have applied the matte green. Okay, I'm thinking about the blue shimmer and I think I will use this one right here. This one would also be an option, but this has a lot of purple in it and this is this really nice turquoisey blue shimmer, which I think will go very, very well with this look. I'm also taking this on my finger just a little bit, not too much. With this shade, I'm going on the edge of the green shimmer. I'm going to use this yellow shimmer here, and this might actually be my first yellow shimmer in my collection, because every other shimmer I have just was a very yellow leaning gold, and I feel like this is a true yellow shimmer, and I'm taking it on my pinky and I'm just pressing it in the area we applied the yellow. I'm basically doing the same thing on my lower lash line that I did on my upper lid. Just reapply some of the green in the middle. Just want it to be a little bit more intense, and I feel like with blending everything together, sometimes you lose a little bit of the pigmentation of some shades. Now let me finish up the look. I need to apply some lipstick, some mascara, and I do my hair, and then I will be right back with the finished look. Okay, this is the first look I did with the Nomad Beachy and Peachy palette. I am in love. I'm just so excited to play more with this palette. I really want to try out the reds. I also love that I finally got my bangs cut yesterday, so you actually can see my eyeshadow. But now, without any further ado, let's just jump into the second look with this palette. For my second look with the Nomad Beachy Peachy palette, I really want to play with the peach shades, and I also want to play with the red today. Now I want to start with the red shade right here. It is called Sunset Celebration, and I think that's a very beautiful name. And I want to apply it in the outer V, and I also bring it onto my eyelid a little bit. So I'm applying it in this diagonal shape. And then I start smudging the edges a little bit. I'm also putting it on my lower lash line and I'm focusing it on the outer part. And I really don't want to smoke it out too much because I don't want this to look like an eye infection. Next, I'm taking this peachy shade right here. I'm putting it into my crease in the area we didn't apply the red shade, and I'm also using it to blend out the red. I also want to place this on the lower lash line and I want to blend there as well. On a very fluffy brush, I'm taking this very light shade. I just want to use it to perfect the blend I did in the crease. I want to clean this look up a little bit, so I'm taking my powder foundation on a quite dense brush and I just place it here so we get a very nice sharp edge. I feel like a step like this is very important if you do very colorful looks and if you're using reds and oranges, because as I said, you don't want to your eye look like you have an eye infection. You want it to look like makeup. And now I start blending it away a little bit. I'm using the brush I've used the very light shade with to blend this out. And then I want to go in with some blush to just blend all the colors on my skin together. So I want to use two shimmers. For this look, I'm going to put this one in the more outer part of the eye look and this one in the inner part of the eyelid. Starting with the deeper shade, popping it in the middle of the eyelid and a little bit on top of the matte red. I'm also taking the lighter shade on my finger and this is gorgeous. This is a very pretty shade. I'm mainly focusing it in the inner part, but I'm also tapping it on top of the red shimmer to blend them together. Taking the lighter shimmer on a brush and I'm just also applying it a little bit on my lower lash line. I really love putting a shimmer shade on the lower lash line. I think it looks so good. For the inner corner, I'm using the matte very light shade we used to blend out the peach and the red, and taking it on this pencil brush and I just pop it in the inner corner. I'm really packing it on so that you're able to see it, and then I blend the edges with the same brush. So I really enjoy this look and you definitely could wear it like this. But for me to really like it, I need just a little bit more structure, a little bit more depth. So I'm applying a eyeliner. I'm doing a little wing. I'm trying to do a little wing. It most likely will be, it most likely will end up as a big wing, if I'm going to be totally honest. But I'm trying my best to do a small wing so we don't take away too much from the look and we just add a little bit of dimension. I'm using the matte Zuko eyeliner from the Little Cosmetics Avatar collection. I really enjoy this line. This is actually my favorite and most used color from all of their eyeliners. It's a very great color. So I will just do a wing as I said, and then I will apply mascara and a liner in the waterline, and then I will be back with the finish. This is the final look. I really enjoy it. I really like it, especially with the liner now. I think it's so cute and I think it's just such a great contrast with my hair color. I really do love it. Now let's talk about the palette. I really love the color story. It's so me. I really enjoy this palette. It's just so much fun. I haven't used every single shade in this palette yet, but the shades I've used are just stunning. And especially blue shades, they're very great. The yellows are fantastic. I think I said it in the first look. The yellows from Nomad are the best in the game. They're just gorgeous. They're so good. They're pigmented. They're pigmented. And that's the hard part with yellows, to get them very pigmented, to get them show up on your eyelids. I just love them, and I love that I finally have a yellow shimmer shade in my collection. It's just a great palette. Color story wise, there's just one thing that I do not enjoy. It is that the only very deep shade in this palette is this purple. I just wish we had one or two other deep shades, like a very deep burgundy shade and a very deep blue. I just wish we had one or two more options for deeper shades. The thing is, this is a personal preference, and especially with the theming of the palette, I really can understand the decision to not put too many deep shades in the palette. It would just be, it would just fit my preferences a little bit more if there would be one or two other deep shades in the palette. As you know, I really love the quality of Nomad Cosmetics. These shades are so easy to work with. I really enjoyed working with this palette, and I'm looking so forward to using it even more. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It would help me out a lot, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye!